With so many tyres on the market these days, it can be really hard to choose which tyre is right for your vehicle. So we're talking to one of our local tyre experts who might have the answers to the questions that you're asking.
We've got Andy here from Tyrepower. Thank you very much, Andy, for taking the time to tell us a bit about tyres and that.
No, my pleasure. Always happy to help. So, yeah.
Alright, let's get to it. Your advice on a mud tyre and an all-terrain tyre with the lowest amount of road noise?
Yep. So, like I say, the tread block size is the crucial thing that makes the most amount of noise. So, and you will get a lower noise from a softer compound tyre. Your Yokohamas, your Toyotas are probably two of the quieter mud tyres on the market.
Okay.
And the same thing sort of applies to all-terrains, although with an all-terrain you've got closed-in tread, they're closed tread blocks. Once again, your Toyota is an exceptionally quiet off-road tyre for on-road use. You'll still get a bit more noise than you will road tyres, but yeah, basically the more lines in the tyre, the quieter they are. So that's probably the biggest thing.
Okay, so you mentioned about the softer compounds. Is it going to wear down a lot quicker than the more harder compound, or?
Not generally, no. Hard compounds will last longer, but it's pretty marginal. It comes down to the technology in the tyre, so how much synthetics they run and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So you will get some cheaper mud tyres and cheaper all-terrains that will wear quicker with a softer compound, but your top of the line stuff, it's all pretty good. And you can expect 80,000 k's out of most of your good quality tyres.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I've got the Yokohama G Lorandas on off-wheel drive, and yeah, they seem to be doing pretty good as far as kilometre go away.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. So what's your most popular mud terrain and all-terrain tyres?
Mud terrain, everybody seems to want to run the BF Goodrich KM3 until they find out a price, and then they're normally generally a bit turned off.
Yeah, so it's more for the richest of the people.
Yeah, they're getting up there. They're getting up. Like everything from the US is getting more and more expensive as time goes on. So yeah, we often find that the young blokes want to come in and just get a decent mud tyre. So we put them onto the Falcon mud tyre.
Yep.
3-ply sidewall, goes really well, gives us good Ks and doesn't give us too much grief at all. So
yep.
That's probably the most popular one that we sell here.
Cool. No, that's good. So yeah, what's your the best value for money as far as a mud terrain and all-terrain tyre go?
I think Falcon would definitely sit in that. They're fairly new on the market here in Western Australia,
yeah.
But they're a big Japanese company, been around a long time, very big in the US, and really pushing hard to get into our West Australian market. And so I guess they've reduced their price to sort of try and get their foot in the door. So very, very good quality tyre at a mid-range price. So.
Yeah, there you go. So what would be your recommendation, for just a good all-round tyre for pretty much everything?
So no tyre will do everything really well. Your 50-50 tyres, so your Mickey Thompson ATZP3s and the Toyo Open Country RTs will do a bit of everything. They're not great at the beach, they're not awesome in the mud, but they do everything across the board pretty well. I used to run a Kumo MT51 on my rig, and it went everywhere. Kept up with the guys in the mud when it had to.
Yep.
Did well on the gravel. I did have to let them down a bit more at the beach because they did dig a bit. But yeah, those tyres will generate noise. So if that's an issue for you, probably not best suited to the modern four-wheel driver if they want a nice quiet ride, but very, very good. And the one that is going to be quiet and does everything in the southwest is definitely the Toyota by a long way. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. a tyre, it's obviously going to make a fair bit of difference. When you're on the beach and that, because I've got the 33s and they're quite wide. Generally, don't have to let any air out. That's going to do pretty good on the beach.
Yeah, look, definitely. For beach work, width does make a bit of difference. You still, if you let the air out of them and you run them a bit softer, then the length of the footprint increases dramatically. The width doesn't really get any wider when you let them down, but the length of the footprint does. So added height will give you almost as much grip as added width, but I'm a big fan of fatties down the beach.
Yeah.
I love them. I've put them on my rig, going a bit wider, and it does seem to go a bit better out in the soft sand. So definitely with a bit of width at the beach, but for most grip, let them down, you'll get a bigger footprint.
Yeah, cool. So, you reckon you can explain the difference between a light passenger tyre and a truck tyre?
Yeah, so light truck tyre is a lot stronger in the construction through more steel belting, generally speaking, thicker plies in the sidewall. And what that does is the strength of the tyre is increased greatly, so it's more puncture resistant as well as being able to carry deeper tread. So the biggest difference for most people is that you're going to get an extra 30% tread when you buy a light truck tyre as opposed to a passenger tyre. So deeper tread, more grip, more puncture resistance and longer life.
Which means you can hit a bit more rougher terrain and more rocky sort of stuff and less concern about popping a tyre.
Yeah, much less chance of something actually going through the tyre and destroying it, as well as obviously you can load up the camper trailer with all the stuff that the missus wants to bring and you've got to carry more weight. Yeah.
Cool. That's good. And so you're saying earlier on the best overall tyre would be this one right here?
It does seem to be the best for our conditions down here at the moment,
Yeah, alright. We have a little grip there. So yeah, there you go, people. Best overall tyre there. So as far as sidewall protection, what would be your best tyre for that?
Yeah, so the best all-terrain by far for sidewall protections, this one, the BF Goodrich all-terrain. And so we've got these great big side biters that come down the sidewall, as well as a full 3-ply side. So very, very strong construction tyre for an all-terrain. And above that, these corners, the shape of the corner, how it's straight up and down, that's going to stop a lot of punches penetrating when you are at low pressures through those corners that are very susceptible. So sort of a 3-tier approach. It's thicker, it's stronger, and it stands up a bit more. Very good tyre for puncture resistance, and if you off-road all the time, exceptional tyre. Not the greatest on the road, but very, very good off it.
Yep, so you can go smash through a few rocks and you shouldn't have too much drama.
No problems with rocks or twigs or sticks or anything going through it.
Yep. There's the grip. Cool, thanks for that. So as far as getting good kilometre, usage on the road, what would be your recommendation?
Look, the main thing is if you buy a light truck tyre, you're going to get big Ks as long as you look after them. So make sure you rotate them, make sure you check your pressures on a regular basis, and get a wheel lined every now and then. If you're bashing it around in the bush, you are going to knock things out. But the best way to know is just to pop into your local tyre store and get them to have a look at it, and they'll tell you if it needs rotating or if it needs wheel lining. But most of your light truck tyres, you should comfortably get 80,000 plus Ks out of them if you look after them.
I've got this Tyrepower Tyre on my Hilux, and I've had it on there for about a year now, and it seems to be doing pretty good. And just a good all-round tyre.
Yeah, no, they're very good. Nice deep tread on them, so really speaking, I hope I don't have to take any money off you for a good 100,000 Ks or so.
So value for money, this one here would be the go?
Yeah, very good value for money tyre. Sort of the upper end of the mid-range price point, but a top quality tyre and going really, really well for us.
Yeah, awesome. Alright, so mud terrains. What's the best sort of kilometres you'd get out of them?
Generally they'll do a few less than the all-terrain tyres, being a bit more aggressive, a bit more heat. There's still mud tyres that do 80,000 k's. Your top line, your BF, your Coopers, and guys who run TYRES generally see about that 80,000 mark, as long as they're well looked after. Run a little bit harder when you're up and down the highway and that sort of thing, and you should still get pretty good k's.
Yeah, cool. So the bigger tyre you go, obviously if it's going to affect the fuel consumption, and you're going to put your speed out, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly. So yeah, the bigger you go, the more drag, so the more fuel you're going to use, the more you're going to load up your bearings and your shock absorbers and everything else, so it is more wear and tear.
Yeah.
Generally we like to see them a bit bigger than standard, because it will correct your speedo. Most speedos read 6 or 7 k's low.
Yeah.
So you've got a little bit of room there, and to be honest, I think everything performs a bit better with one size up. You start going bigger than that, and then we start seeing a decrease in fuel economy and the life of components. But you can go one size bigger without too many problems.
So like an inch bigger. So
yeah, an inch bigger. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I went 3 inches bigger, and it's put my speed about 10 kilometres. So.
Yeah, that's a big tyre on your little Hilux, mate.
It is. Yeah, it does get it. So you mentioned earlier on, Andy, about the bigger spacing with your grips on the muddies, generating more noise. So you just touch base a little bit on that one.
Yeah, sure. So bigger tread blocks create more noise. Obviously, as they hit the road, they make a bit more noise, and the bigger gaps between the tread blocks also push a lot more air out the side, and that generates a lot of noise. So a lot of the hum and whistle that you get as you roll up the highway is generated by the gaps between the tread blocks and the tread blocks themselves hitting the road.
Okay, there you go. So if you're looking for muddy but less noise, probably want to go, less aggressive. Tree.
Yeah, something with a smaller tread block and a smaller gap between them is definitely going to be a little bit quieter.
Yeah, cool. Alrighty, thanks for that.
Hopefully after watching this, all your four-wheel drive tyre problems are over. If not, drop a comment below, because we do have another video just like this one coming up very, very soon. If you haven't already, give us a thumbs up, push subscribe, and before we go, we've still got one thing left to do.
Yeah, thank you for your time, Andy.
No problem at all, guys.
Appreciate it.